So I also know that on your first EP, the song Thunder, you kind of wrote about the American election. With the work that you're going to put out soon, is there any political influence on those songs?
I mean, nothing that is as explicit as Thunder lyrically, but I mean, it's hard. It's impossible not to be like affected by Trump as our president, as like an American. You know, you wake up and you like are like, what the hell's going on? So, I mean, it's definitely something that we think about a lot, but there's no song that is as explicit as Thunder.
Okay. What's it felt like for you guys, I guess, as a band, having that?
It's just been kind of interesting. I mean, if we were to ever use our voice, I guess the time is now. We were in LA actually when he was elected, and it kind of was a very interesting, it took this very fun and creative like writing trip and PR trip that we had in LA and turned it into like a nightmare, honestly. But it's definitely a very interesting vibe, and especially because we live right outside DC, so we're kind of always facing the news and like facing all the things that are happening within the city. So,
yeah.
Do you feel like it's maybe affected the music community in DC a lot then, or?
I think it's like a balance of, you know, you're influenced by it, but then also there's like really cool house venues, and I think people go there to listen to music and escape that. So it's kind of this interesting balance of that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a cool time to be an artist though right now, for sure. I mean, with everything going on, yeah.
I mean, it's great that we're being so close to DC. We've like been able to go to like the Women's March, and we would have been at the what was it?
March for Our Lives.
March for Our Lives, but we were on tour. But that's like one thing that's really special about like living so close, is we can like participate in rallies and things like that.
Nice. So the most recent singles that you guys have released have been more like romantic leaning, especially with like Lonesome and Too Much. Do you see that being more of a continuing theme, I guess, with what you have coming up?
I feel like romance is always kind of intertwined in all of our songs. It's hard to not focus on some sort of aspect of love or something. I think a lot of our songs are not necessarily relationship based, but definitely love based coming up.
Yeah, we got it's kind of, a couple of them are. It's Trampoline isn't really, that's just kind of like this, you know, very like weird. It kind of stemmed from this weird dream actually that Max had, and then we took that idea and then wrote the lyrics around that, and that was pretty different than the other stuff we've written. And so you'll be able to hear that though in like a week or so now, I guess, right? Yeah,
May 18th. Tonight too.
We're playing it tonight too. It's called Trampoline. Yeah.
I guess, what was the dream about?
It was actually I was watching like a home video, and like the tape was like really distorted, and it was like going in and out, and it was just like this video of my brother and I like jumping on a trampoline as like 3-year-olds, and it was like really, it just had like a trippy feel to it. So I think like I described this, you know, idea of like having a dream of jumping on a trampoline, and then Spencer kind of like took that idea and ran with it and made it this kind of weird, ethereal, just like stream of consciousness type dream.
Yeah.
So were you guys writing the lyrics for that, or was that you, Chelsea?
I think that Spencer started out on lyrics and kind of ran with it, and then maybe we like contributed a little bit. I know the Max had like the first line maybe, but
yeah,
Spencer was really the core on this song for sure.
Yeah, maybe so. It's kind of, it all is like really just like a blur. I mean, when you're living together and you're just writing all the time, we don't really care about who writes what. you know, we like split everything up equally. So that's a nice aspect of this group, is not having to worry about that stuff.
So I just make them do all the work.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Chelsea is the queen of the kitchen, by the way. I don't know why that's
so
kind of a weird segue, but you made me think about, like, if Max and I are doing some of the production work, Chelsea will be making a bomb meal in the kitchen. So
that's how I contribute to the song, you know, inspired by cooking.
By the carbs, by the pasta.
What's your go-to meal, like, I guess, to cook?
Oh my
for
God.
them?
So we are pescatarians, and so our favorite thing to make, I think, is pasta. We probably eat pasta like 3 times a week, and we make our own sauce, and we have like vegan meatballs and the whole vibe. But
yeah, I can rattle off a few.
Oh, you're really gonna go?
I can go into this. Twice baked potatoes.
Ooh, yeah, that's
incredible.
really
Twice baked potatoes.
Yeah.
Chelsea makes ridiculous enchiladas.
Brussels sprout salad.
Fish
The
tacos.
roasted Brussels sprouts.
Fish tacos on lettuce wraps.
All they do is talk
really
about
good.
food. It's yeah.
We haven't eaten today yet, so
Food, I guess, is a big part of your
Yeah.
process.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
food is definitely, when we're home, we definitely eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, plus probably some snacks. But we're
Chelsea
on
likes
a
snacks.
Chelsea definitely will like crack the whip about the snacks though.
lunchtime.
She's not letting us like snack on stuff. She's like,
Well, the thing with us is that's really like kind of interesting is we definitely have a routine. So we'll get up at 8 in the morning. You know, we'll have like a very sit down. All of our meals are sit down. You know, it's not just like, oh, eat whenever. I think we really kind of cherish the time where we can just chill and eat and talk about stuff other than music. Sometimes we talk about music, but
most times we probably talk about music, honestly.
probably, but definitely have our routine for the day. So it's kind of, yeah. People make fun of us. Our friends make fun of us because we used to have a schedule on our fridge that mapped out like each hour of the day.
So weird.
I guess that must be helpful, though, I guess.
It is.
Yeah.
being
Yeah, it
creative.
is. It is.
Yeah, well, the problem with us and them especially is when they're working on music, it becomes kind of like a time warp. They can be like in the studio for 5 hours and it will go by so fast for them. So I'll be like, all right, let's go outside. Let's take a walk.
Yeah.
Let's sit down. Let's have some lunch so that they can kind of like step out of that for a second and then come back. Because I think that's healthy too, just to be able to step back from songs and then come back with fresh ears and new ideas. And
Definitely.
So I guess you're kind of more of the person who pulls them out of everything
Yes.
and just gets them to take a step back.
I would say so.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, a cool thing about this being able to move in together is Chelsea's definitely taken the lead on like recording. She's recorded most of all of her vocals for this EP, which has been awesome, and so I'm proud of her for that. Sorry, I'm gonna smack.
Ow, that was
gonna smack you there. Yeah.
What's that been like for you, I guess, recording your own vocals?
It's interesting because we used to just sit in a big room, and you know they would be sitting at the end of the room facing the computer, and I'd be behind them in the doing vocals, which I love that. I love how it's a whole experience, but we've honestly been able to be more productive if I go into my office / studio where I have my own setup and I'm doing vocals like in my own comfort zone and kind of like on my own time and getting the things that I want to do and focusing on like lines that I want to get while they're finishing up production or, you know, working on something else. So I think it has been really freeing to do my own vocals and kind of have that control over, you know, I'm not getting this line. Let me work on this a little bit more.
Yeah. And it's cool too because even though Chelsea's really been able to hone that in, like if there are certain lines that we feel like we could get a little stronger or differently, then she's like still very open to doing that as well. So it's kind of like this really nice balance of that. But I mean, there's certain songs like Trampoline where I feel like like in the verses, you know, she cut pretty much all that song, and I feel like you can could sort of feel it in her performance that like she was alone when she did that. Like there wasn't anybody like there. I don't know, kind of vibe. But
Yeah.
Are you guys singing harmonies at all on this, or is it just your vocal?
I think this one does.
I don't know about this particular song, but a lot of the songs that we have recorded, they're doing harmonies and backup stuff. And
yeah, this. Well, I guess we won't mention the next single yet because we don't know. But the second single that I think we're going to release, there's a lot more harmony and stuff like that on there that we're doing, which is fun.
Okay. So is that, I guess, more of a communal harmony recording, or?
It's tended to be that they've kind of like done this thing where they go into that very room and they like do their own vocals. Whereas, I mean, we were probably doing it in a big room before as well.
Yeah, that little studio room that Chelsea uses is pretty fun. It's pretty nice to record vocals, and yeah, so we do that more.
Nice. I guess, is there anything that you'd like to add at all?
I don't know. I don't think so.
This room is beautiful. The Orpheum we're playing. Is that what it's called? The Orpheum?
Orpheum?
That doesn't sound right. Is that it? Orpheum? Yeah. Yeah.
Where are we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
You're a very nice person too.
Yeah.
I will
Yes,
add, I will
thank you.
add that.
And you had really great questions, actually. Yeah.
Well, thanks for your time, guys.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
you.
Thank you.